Hey guys, good morning, my friends. It's Monday morning, and we're gonna get to work on our piece over here for Earth Towel. Um, there have been some corrections that they wanted to do, which is not going to be a problem at all. But I've got to go through and kind of make some fixes to the picture. They first thing they did was change the overlay. So we've got kind of a little bit of an alteration that's going to need to be made to the overlay, which isn't going to be a big deal at all. So I'm going to go on ahead and share my screen. Yeah, David, I agree. It's Monday. I'm going to share my screen here, and we're going to get to work, get to cracking on this here. Okay. So I changed my camera position, which is cool, but I can't seem to adjust the camera yet. So I'm having a blowout of the camera, which I'll fix. That won't be a problem. All right. Well, the last time we were here, we kind of had to do, we were doing some of the color work in here, but they've changed the overlay size. So now the overlay is like right on top of her. So I'll have to fix that. It's not a major deal. It'll be fine. It'll be just fine. So what I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to go on ahead, and one of the things that they had asked for was some modifications to... Good morning, Brent. Good to see you, my friend. They asked for modifications to her as a character. They want her to look older. They want her hair to be shaved on both sides and standing up, which I can do. They want me to give her more muscle tone and make her stronger looking, which also could be done. And they want me to change the book titles. This also seems like a good idea. The first thing I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to go on ahead and work on changing the hair out, because we've already done color in here, and I can flatten out the color if we go on through, and if we were to be able to, once the hair is removed and fixed, we'll be able to do the work on the hair, or on the face, and that should be able to be an easy enough job. We'll go through here. Oh, look, I got the wrong brush. I can tell I've got the wrong brush, but it still looks cool. Let's check our brushes, shall we? Okay, here we go with this guy. And we'll go through here, and we'll just pull the hair out all the way around. Should be not a problem. We'll just go through it like this. All right. Yes, so here's the thing. I went on ahead and upgraded to the full version of Restream, and that allows me to take out their Okay, you can hear me a little there. Let's see if you can hear me on the snowball. Okay, you can hear me on the snowball. So I think this. So I moved my my microphone, and when I did, it's now back in the if it gets an electric shock, it drops out zone, and I'm trying to make it not get the electric shock that it gets every time it knocks it out. But it may, until we settle things in, you know how this goes. I moved everything around. I moved my my camera back behind me so that you can see out my beautiful window here. I've got a very pretty window, I like the park on the other side of the street and yada yada yada. So I moved my camera so that it'd be behind me, and but of course, what we've got now is we've got the problem of our poor microphone gets zotted. So just let me know if I drop out. I have figured out how to turn the audio back on, though, so you can see that we have returned to audio. Okay, I'm going to do this. And take out that right here. I'll leave it right there. So there we go, up through here. There we go. Now I'm going to zoom in a little. And we'll go around the corners here. I really wanted to kind of flip this picture because she's not left-handed. But that's all right. But I discovered one very important thing. You get artsy on sometimes and you just don't think these things through, but she's holding her pistol here with her left hand. But the holster is clearly on her right thigh, which implies to me that she had a gun in her right hand, but I don't know what happened to it. So she must have dropped it. Only I can think of. Okay. And we're going to go through here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to repair some of this. So I want my comic ink brushes, right? We're going to just come around here and repair her ears, right? Because now she has shaved sides of her head. This is the new thing for her. She's got the shaved sides of the head. So I'm going to go on ahead and finish out the shape of the skull for her. I'll go through like this and clean that up. I like when I do this and I discover that my inking or my painting layer has a whole bunch of stuff on it, and you're like, oh, that's nice. I wasn't being very clean because she had black hair and I couldn't see underneath the hair. That's okay. We'll get there. The one thing we do want to do is make sure that I put all the white back under here. Otherwise, this is going to look weird. This coloring is going to look strange. So I want to make sure I put the white back under like this. And just keep filling it back in. I don't want that to be screwed up. That seems like a bad idea. There we go. Brent, the other thing that I can do now is I can do like splash screens so that whenever I am not here, or at the beginning of the show or at the end of the show or whatever, I can do splashes, which I think is kind of cool too. So there's that. That's neat. I'm all excited about that. Today I'm going to try to go for 2 hours if we can. I'm going to try to work on 2 different projects. But this has been so very successful for me to get work done that I'm going to see if I can't add another hour on. And there's a dog outside. He's a happy dog. Listen to that happy dog. There you go, like, hey, somebody's here. He's probably very, bored. He's got nothing better to do. All right. Now, since I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do with her hair yet, I'm going to go on ahead and just fill her whole head here with paint so that we can go on ahead and just complete this, right? I'm filling her head with weird ideas. That's what I'm doing. Here we go. And this allows me to just go on ahead and have it ready. And whatever I do with the hair, I can do on a layer above, and then it won't matter as much. Right? So we'll go ahead and do this. The other thing they were saying was they want me to age her a little. Part of this is going to be difficult because no matter which way I do this, aging her is going to be kind of complicated as the face changes as you get older. Right now, boy, she looks kind of like One Punch Man. But your face changes as you get older. So there's a certain amount of this that's like, well, it's going to be difficult to do. Not impossible by any stretch, just difficult. So we're going to go on ahead and do that real quickly here. I'm just filling in the paint and making sure that this part of her head is shiny. And I'm going here and fix the ear too while I'm at it. Right. So all I'm doing there is just cleaning up the paint on this and just making it look a little bit better. There we go. And this will make it a lot easier. Right? Well, and that's what I thought too, but the truth is that it's not just the bag lines, because that is definitely a thing. But we're going to go on ahead and do some work on that illustration point here. So what you do is you've got to give the mouth lines too, which are through here, right? The smile lines. And you give like a little bit of line work there, a little bit of line work here, and then here, right? She's older. But one of the other things that happens when you're older is you get a small amount of blue in this area, right through here, right? Just a little bit. Not a lot. But the skin gets a little bit like fatigued there. Well, the crow's feet won't show because of her eyelashes, which is kind of a problem. I don't know if I want to undo those eyelashes just yet. I mean, I'm assuming she's wearing some semblance of mascara or something like that. So I'm just blending in this blue a little bit more here. But that's giving her more age, giving her a wrinkle on her forehead, supersize the crow's feet, right? They'll have to be like in her ears at this point in time. Not like it's an impossibility, just funny. I like the picture. The image is good. All right, so coming around the edges here and giving her more like a rougher look in her face. And I think actually we can probably trim down her head a little, maybe like more like this to make her face not quite as wide. Right? I'll go back through here like this and put the pencil in. I like supersize her crow's feet. That's good. Okay, like that. We'll come around like this. I'll probably shrink her head down just a little bit more. And all I'm really doing is giving the impression that, there we go, like that. That's what I want. Clean this up. Giving the impression that things are looking a little thinner up here. She's looking more at you. There we go. It won't matter what her skull looks like after a minute here because I'm going to have hair up here, but I don't know what kind of hair I want to do yet, so I'm not there. I'll get there. We'll get there in the next hour or so. So, there we go. There we go. Good, 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 good. Like that. Now when we look, she looks a little older, looks a little more gruff. I'll add some more of that in there and work a little bit more whenever we get into that stage. So, we'll change out my brush. Go to that flat brush again. And we're going to move through like this. Well, she's not that old. I get the impression she's in her 30s, 40s. So, I like Crane Canyon better, though. I'm just saying. Crane Canyon was cool. So, even though we've got kind of... She's not ancient. She's just... kind of... And we can give some angle to her face through here, too. Right? Doing this. Coming in right here. Oh, I'm on the eraser. I'm like, why is this still so very white? Oh, well. Accidents happen. That's how we fix things here. Wonder how far back I can go on eraser. Oh, hey. I can do all of that mess. Well, that's good. How much of this was legit before things got weird? And I was on the wrong tool. There we go. I think that's where I want to be. Yeah, she's not that old. She's not that old. She's just I think the idea is they're trying to get kind of the more old, grizzled sort of person, you know, that old fighter sort of thing. So I'll add that, although this needs to be lighter on this side. That's not lighter. Where are we? Here we are. Oh, I'm on the wrong layer. What is going on with me? I swear. I'm working on the wrong layer here. How far back do I have to go before I undo all this mess up I just did? Right there. There. All right. Right? She's not that old. She's not that old. All right. Now we're on the correct layer. We're using the correct tool. Let's make sure we're doing this right. Because she needs to be, I mean, this is the light side of her right here. So we're going to do that. All right. And if you do this on this side, then you end up with a shadow that goes along like this to her lips. Like so. Although I would argue, looking at Ming Na Wen, she's certainly not ancient looking, even though she's in her 50s. And Asians just have the wonderful ability of not looking old until one day when they're Obaba. He Obaba. That's a character from Ranma. If you're wondering, who is he talking about? I don't like characters from Ranma. I'm always talking about characters from Ranma. Ranma was a great manga. Okay, moving along here, kind of doing this here. I'm emphasizing these bags under her eyes. That's what I'm going to do here. Let's do that. Right. Okay, we're coming along the top here. Just make sure everything is all light and working there. And we'll emphasize this part right here along the crown of her eyebrow. Okay. When we put in a little bit of white to kind of just give a highlight along the edge here, we really want to have this ability here to do this. Kind of come along here, and this just gives a nice edge. It makes her face pop out a little bit more and kind of works around this corner here. There we go. Right in there. Perfect. And then we'll move right here, and then there'll be just a little bit right there, right? And that gives a lot of depth to the face. It makes the face look really good. You're wondering why I'm doing this before I do the hair. And the major reason is because a change like the hair coming in at this time, after painting has started, I really need to flatten the painting into the color. I need to flatten this layer of color into the painting itself before I move to the hair, because otherwise I can't do the moving around of the picture without having to move both layers, which I can do, but I can't resize it and things like that. So, and I certainly could resize it, and I know you're about to all say, oh, you could resize it. Yes, you're right. I certainly could resize it. However, it's not easy, and it's easier for me to just finish the painting on the skin and then just move on from there. So that's a much easier mode for me. The other thing we need to do while we're in here is paint in her lips. Right, because we're not doing that yet. There we go. Haven't done that yet. Nothing says anime and manga style like little teeny lips that aren't realistic. But that's okay. Of course, the nature of this means that there is a lot of I don't know what that is in the other room. I'm not going to actually resize I don't want to resize the whole image because I've got to make sure that the overlays fit. And that's really what I'm after here, is trying to get it inside these overlays. Since they changed the overlay here, I might have to shrink this picture a little bit. So I'm going to shrink the picture to fit the overlays, but I want to finish the painting before I do that so that I can flatten the two images down. Then we can see where everything is going. So it's not a bad idea. And also I could just hold control and link all my layers together like that, right? And unlink. And then they'll both resize at the same scale and everything like that. But the truth is, I'm just going to finish the painting. I'm already there. I'm already working on it. It seems like a good thing to do. I'll just finish the painting. So it's not like it's a major issue. I just was explaining the reason why I think that it's a good idea to do that. I'm going to go through here. I'm going to put in her hand painting while we're at it too. And then this way we can just do this. There we go. I love this hand, and I'm kind of bummed it's probably not going to show up, because this took me forever to figure out how to do this hand. And I know that it's not going to show up, and that's okay. The good news is Earth Tau guys like to sell the prints of these, so there will be a full version of this that you will find on their table. So even if you are, looking at this as you can't find what's going on here sort of thing, we'll be able to still find it. It's totally cool, Brett. You do you, man. It's all good. You know it's all good. I'm totally cool that I'm glad you guys just keep me company. I appreciate that. Saying that this makes me feel like I'm beholden to you guys so that I make sure that I get my work done. I don't want to not get my work done. I got too much work to do here. Way too many jobs on the task here today. I've got to work on a commission for somebody now, and I got a lot of stuff on my table here. So it won't help me any if I don't do this. Let's give her, I think her nails should be the same color as like this purple. That's what I think. Give her nails that color. So I think it would be fun. Right? There we go. Excellent. And we'll do this. Just go through here and we're just roughing it up. It's her nails. And she is a killer, so I wouldn't think that, she might paint her nails cool colors, but the truth is she's probably really just thinking about shooting people a lot. Because that's what assassins do. And so we're moving along there on that one. Now I've put in the color on all of the skin parts of her and the skin tone, and I'm pretty happy with that enough that now any further painting, it's not going to kill me to have the ink in a different, or on this other layer right here, right? So I'm going to check one more time, make sure we're good along here. I'm seeing some little things out here that I'm not happy with. Like, I wouldn't mind if some of this extra chatter was gone. So I'm going to get rid of some of this chatter that's on the outside edge of the artwork here. And I'll move this up. Yeah, I see some little spots up here. Those are all on this line. You guys need to go away. There we go. And I made a small error there, but that's not going to be a big deal. Go back in. And all I'm doing here is I'm switching between tools on this so that I can just keep catching on there. There we go. I'm getting an ad in here from Twitch. It says, want to become famous? Buy followers, primes, and viewers on blah, 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 blah. I think that's funny. I'm getting targeted by ads. I'm not sure what to think about that, but other than that's just ridiculous. I don't want to buy anybody. Join me if you want to join me. I don't care. It's all good. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay. Now we fixed that. Made her look a little older there. I'm going to take this and put this up there. So what I've done is I've just moved this layer up. This is a hard, fast setup. There's nothing I can do to fix this. So I'm going to go on ahead and I think I'm ready to merge these two down. So instead of merging down, which doesn't work like you want it to, ever, I'm going to merge visible. Merging visible takes the attributes of the layers and merges them as stands. And since the color layer was on multiply, uh-oh, I saw it. I heard something go bloop 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 bloop. Okay, but everything stayed. My microphone's still working. I can see it. Okay, good. Hitting the merge visible. Oh, but my tablet's off. It's like it's always something. Let's bring up the tablet controls. That'll restart my tablet. All right, let's restart the tablet. I love that every day it's something weird. Really what it is that my USB bus is old and crotchety and needs to be replaced. And it's probably been hit one too many times in the head with a mouse here. Let's see, pin settings. I think that, yeah, I know, percussive maintenance. Let's see if we get there we go. We've got it back. Okay. Pin tablet's back. We're back, and we have the secret to the air shield. All right. So the pin's back. That's good. So there's a lot of things that need to happen here on this one. So I'm going to go ahead and save it. There we go. I've saved. So, okay, let's go in here, and there's a couple of little pieces of maintenance that I want to do. For one, I've made her lips be a natural color, and that's actually somewhat intentional. Because I figure she is definitely some kind of assassin killer, and she's not going to be putting lipstick on, right? I mean, that's just silly. So we're just going to go on ahead and shade this in. We'll shade underneath here. Give some depth to her lips. And then I'm going to go through here, and I'm going to lighten this top part up, right through here. This is the top part of her lips, like so. All right. Right along the top ridge here. Then I'll give a little bit of shine here, right? That's really what's going on. Got some shine going on through here, like that. Then we'll go through, and then we'll put in some dark through here. As we get older, our lips spread out more, and they're not quite as really small, and so it's difficult. It's difficult to portray this in age here. There we go. We can get under here on this shadow a little bit more now. I can like clean it out a little bit more. So it's more like that. And then we'll go through here and we'll hit this light area right up here. Okay, really? So we've got this different color. Here's how we do this. We'll fix it this way. There we go. Much more like it's supposed to be. There we go. And it gives her... I think her hair is actually the request. Here, I'll show you the request as I got. Here's the request that I got, a red line. Classically, when you have one artist talking to another artist, we do what we call red lines, which is we specifically red out the area that we want to modify or have modified in another piece. And they've clearly asked for like a mohawk, because she's got her head shaved on either side, which is why I'm just going ahead and balding it out, and then adding some more lines, stress lines in her face to make this work. And they want her to have bulkier muscle groups. So I'm going to bulk out her muscles here in a minute. I also noticed that I've got I don't know if they intentionally moved the zipper to one side. She doesn't actually have a zipper on here. So I'm presuming that they want me to put a zipper in, which is fine. That won't be a problem. But the description over here is much more of a, they want much more of a mohawk sort of thing going to go like that. So I'm gonna take, that's what I'm gonna do as far as the guidance here, is take to that. So I've got this up on the other monitor, and because I don't want it in the way. But I'm going to get there in a second. I'll be working on that. But nothing else in here seems to be a problem on that. I don't seem to see. I'm going to guess that looking at that piece there, that all they really were saying was that they wanted us to. They wanted us, like you guys are helping me. Well, you are helping me. You guys are all here all the time. I'm guessing that what I'm going to start getting is. Yeah, so I'm gonna. Anyway, I got lost in thought there, but yeah, what I'm gonna do here is just stress in some of these lines up here. She's got some lines up there, and stress in a little in here, and give her the bags that David was talking about. And then I'm gonna run her hair all through here. I'm just gonna run short, fuzzy hair on either side. Like that. There we go. Give it a much more dramatic look there. Oh, I'm dramatic. I'm super dramatic. I'm also probably mad. I probably haven't slept either. I don't sleep. I never sleep. I just stare at the wall. It's probably really. I mean, I have this impression that she probably suffers from more PTSD than we really would like her to. As far as a character goes, she's a sniper and stuff like that, ex-war hero and things like that. So she's probably not the world's happiest sleeper, I would think. She probably has nightmares and things like that, which would suck. Not a pleasant thing. I'm just rounding her cheek out a little here, making it a little less stressy. But that gives her more. What sleep? I agree, Matt. What sleep? Her head probably is. It's probably a little heavier over here. And I guess I could always do a quick check, right? If we think that this is off, then we can do a quick check. So let's do a quick check. Right, we'll put a line right through the middle, and a line right here. And I think you're right, Brent. I think you're absolutely right. Look at that. I think we're off by one side. If you put the line straight through the middle like this, and straight through the middle like that, you've got it off to one side. Look at you. So, what I will do is take this and just push it in, right? Push it in. What we can do is we can actually distort it and like pull it back out like that. Push it over like this. And this way I don't really ruin all of my artwork that I've already worked on here. I just do this, put it right there. And then I don't have to... There's a lot of painting under here. It's the painting I'm really wanting to save more than it is anything else. So I want to save that. The painting's such a pain to get back into place once we've done it. So I don't really want to mess with it too much there. There we go. Then we can kill the guides. Her head's now wobbly, but that's all right. It's not bad. Or as a parent, that's the thing about Matt. Boy, Matt and I both understand this as a dad and going on here on this whole dad journey thing. Ooh, doggy. I think you know that too, Brent. The old, we don't get to sleep because the kid's up all night ralphing or whatever. Anyway, it's a thing. I'm not trying to exclude you, David. You did stuff that you were babysitting full adults. So I'm not saying you weren't losing sleep. Yeah. I got one, and that's enough. I'm done. That's all. I'm good. Okay. There we go. Much better. Yeah, I think it's still wobbly. It feels like it's not quite out there on this side. So I'll do this. Yeah. But she's adorable. There's that. You know, when my son was in that super young age. There we go. All right, fix this up right through here. Fix this up right there. There we go. You have to be kind of careful. You know, I think a lot of us hide the lumpy skull with hair. I'm just saying. I'm not saying, but I'm saying. So, there we go. There we go. Really, the only reason I'm fidgeting so much with this is that the skull will define the shape of her hair. And it's going to really, like, tell people what's going on here with the hair. So, I have some very unique brushes. I've got hair brushes, which are kind of fun. And it'll allow me to do various effects. But I got to go in a certain direction. Like, that's... Wait. Okay, maybe that's not what I was headed for. But it looks awesome, you have to admit. Okay, that's not good. Okay, that was my fun for this particular. Now back to work. Back to work, slave. Stop screwing around. Okay, these are more like eyebrow hairs and stuff like that, which use. But I'm feeling like this is too thin as far as hair goes, so I want more coarse hair. Coarse hair. That's a type of airplane. I'm just saying. So, like, this could be more like what we're looking for here, because this is much more of a coarse, deep hair on the side, right? And we go through here on this side too. Right now she's Picard. That's what we're after here, is she's now Picard. You're all like, what in the hell are you doing, dude? Yeah, it's all right. It'll get there. Because now she's got like the mohawk piece, right? The mohawk piece is going to be back to my normal inks, right? And they're going to be like up here, right? Like this. Through here, like that. It's like her mohawk is kind of going through like this. Right? They were saying that they wanted it to be flying outward, like she's heading this way. And I'll clean it up in a second. Corsair, huh? It's a computer company. Yeah, TIL. Right? So I think that's my Alexa getting all wigged out because I keep saying the C word. Alexa doesn't particularly care for the C word, but I can make Alexa do cool things. Like you can say, computer, red alert.
Aye, Captain.
And that makes my day. It's the little things that make me happy. Right? Stupid little things. But hey, I'm a happy person. Oh, you can always ask, though, and I can say, hey, look, there's the whole picture. I'll happily do that for you. And then I'm just working on the hair part right now. So there we go. All you gotta do is ask, man. All you gotta do is ask. I will happily show you more picture here. There we go. Now I'm going to go through and there we go. Now we're giving her a mohawk with, I like the fuzz. The fuzz makes me I'm happy. And give her the baby hairs, which I love the fact that the baby hairs just every Asian girl that I know gets so aggravated with those hairs. And that's so funny because they get so annoyed by them. And I'm like, well, the guys don't, because I think they shave them with their beard. So, but all the girls who have those still just get so aggravated. It's like they're a nuisance. And I'm like, well, they're kind of adorable, actually. They shouldn't be a nuisance. Don't think they're a nuisance. It's back to you should always just accept who you are for who you are. Yeah, I thought about that. Her head's tilted down. So you're right. I mean, again, we put our guides in. And her eyes are here, tilted down, right? So if we look at the guides, you're right. I think that the hairline might want to be up here. At least somewhere up there. Maybe she's got receding hair. Don't make fun of her. We don't judge. Right? I'll bring that down a little bit more. Like that. But we still want kind of a widow's peak, right? Because, I mean, we want this to kind of be going up like this on the edges. Because everybody's got kind of this peak along here. Right? Like this. There. She does kind of look like Aang from Avatar. Well, there's a first time for everything these days, and first time for me doing mohawks, so here we go. Here we are doing the mohawk thing. Really? There we go. I don't know if I'm happy with this. This, by the way, is the reason why I put it on a different layer. Because I can wipe all of that out if I want to. I'm not sure I'm ready to do that yet. But I'm feeling kind of like it. I don't know. I might still fight with that widow's peak a little bit more. I'll probably put a guide on here and then just guide myself through this because I really think I want a peak that looks kind of like this. That's what I'm thinking. Looking at the picture that they've got, that's sort of what they're seeing. And they're showing more along like this out here. So maybe I'll continue that out that way. Let me drop that down a little bit so it's not interfering as much. And let's get back to work in here. Because I think that's part of what our issue is. I kind of need to be going along the sides like this and then coming out a little bit more. And then coming in through the center or this line here. There we go. That's probably more like it. And then coming along the lines here too. And then going out like this. There we go. And then I'll take this and go back like this a little. Ooh, that was too much. And then I'll take this and not, in fact, have to make myself go back and redo that line back there. There we go. Sometimes you just need to do guides. And that's all there is to it. You just need to do guides. And that's okay. That's okay. We'll do like this. Come through like that. Yay, look at that. And then we'll go out the other direction. There we go. Much better. Much better. Now we can turn the line off and see what we've got. That's not bad. Hey, Matt. So I'm using... Here, let me turn back on my main camera, and I'll talk to you about that. I'll take a break here. It's the top of this hour. If you guys... I'm going to go on ahead and continue on till noon if you want to stay with me. But you don't have to, and I get that. So the tablet that I'm using here, Matt, is an XP Pen monitor tablet. I have a pen with it that goes with it. It's a 22-inch tablet, and it's a really nice size. It's good format. It does seem to retain a lot of dust, but I like it. It'll be about it comes in at about $400. So it's a pretty expensive buy, but it was worth it. I also have a normal 1970s era. Right. It is not touch. It's because I can touch it all day long and nothing happens, which actually I like. And that was a big deal for me because I'm horrible when I draw. I do this and I sit my hand on the thing, and then the pen comes up like this when I'm drawing, and I'll lift up and I'll draw and I'll lift up and I'll draw and I'll lift up. And when I do, it ends up selecting everything on the right side. So it's kind of important to me to not have it actually be a touch screen. That's kind of critical to me. So that's what I use. The software that I'm using, of course, is just good old fashioned Photoshop. So there's, it's kind of that. But here, I'll go ahead and go back into the drawing for you. I love the idea and the concept of LCARs as far as having a touch screen that does that, because that's so cool. But the reality is I wouldn't mind LCARs or touch screens for my two big monitors on either side, or to the right of this monitor. But for this monitor, I like it to not have a touch screen. So the Surface Pro, I had a Surface. I use Surfaces all the time for when I'm sitting at Starbucks, which I don't do anymore. I just don't do it at the moment, but I will. We will. We'll get back to it. Everything will be back to normal at some point here. But yeah, the Surfaces are great, but I have to wear a glove when I use the Surface. Because if I don't have the glove, then when I lift the pen up, it selects everything. And so I have to wear a glove. So I kind of like the fact that I don't have to wear a glove when it comes to using this monitor. And so that's cool. And the Surface Pro is a great piece of equipment. I have a Surface 3 non-Pro, which I use, which it works. It's totally operable. It does exactly what it needs to do, and it's fine. So anyway, I'm going to get back in here. I'm liking where we're going with this setup. I actually am kind of getting okay with her hair. Let's go on ahead and first things first, I think if we were to come in here and add some gray, it would look kind of cool. Right? Let me put in some gray on the hair. This is too much gray. I'm just saying. I have added too much gray. But the wonderful thing about this is I can go back and add some black. And that's what I'll do. We'll give her some gray hair, and that'll add to her age effect. And we'll actually make her look kind of cool. Kind of wicked here. She's got like some gray going in like this. I find it fascinating. The idea of running Ubuntu on these is great. That's sort of my wife's battle plan in the universe, I think. She is a much, much more tech geek than me. And so you wouldn't know it, though. All of you guys who know her. But that's one of the things she's really into is Ubuntu. And so we've added some gray to her hair. It makes it work well. Jared! I did not see the purple hair attachment. Did you want her hair to be purple? I can make her hair purple. Although, I will caution you, there is sort of a pushback right now amongst a lot of my Asian female friends who are kind of getting aggravated with the developing trope of Asian girls being wild girls by dyeing their hair. So, as a fair warning, I don't know if that's necessarily a thing we want to worry about, but I would give you that caution. I've seen a number of my buddies kind of getting a little bit aggravated about that. It may be a little early for that to be a problem, but I want to just go on ahead and make sure you knew that. So if that was a caution you want to take, you can. Okay, I can do purple hair. I can do purple hair. Purple hair. Purple hair. Okay. And that was when everybody jumped off my stream. Like, stop singing, dude. We've asked you that before. Don't sing. Especially don't sing Prince. I mean, really, if you're going to do this, you can't do Prince, man. Just can't. That's not cool. Okay. This is going through here, and I'm cleaning this up. I'll have to come back in here at some point and really work on that. What do you think of the gray hair? This little close on. We're not saying, but we're saying. Oh, I see what you're talking about. I see what you're talking about. No, I actually have the picture. I just didn't understand that was what that picture was for. We're good. We're good. We're good. We can do this. I just drew in the middle of that. Let's do that again. You. Orate. Coming through here like this. I'm just going to go on ahead and lay down the basic underlying purple. The good news is the picture that I'm seeing here is not that the roots down here are purple, just the outside edge, which is good. So we'll go ahead and do that. Put this in like this. And I'm just laying in this purple. Now I'm going to go through with a highlight here in a bit. So that'll help a lot on this. Coming in here like so. There we go. It's good because I kind of wanted to do this anyway. Come back through here and just, I always have to kind of touch up the hair, right? And we'll just go through like this. There we go. Excellent. Jared's on the stream, which helps me a lot. You can tell me if I start to go astray. long before I actually go astray, which is so helpful. Because that's not a good thing. You don't want to go astray and then have them go, could you undo all of that? And I'll be like, oh man, I don't want to. This inking pen is not the world's best for hair, I'm noticing. I may have to come up with a different plan. All right, coming through here and just clipping through it like this, like that, like that. That'll get some of that out of the way. There we go. Okay, coming through here and doing this, just kind of coming like this. Right. Now our hair is purple. Oh, you're good, man. You're good. It's all good. I'm going to turn the tolerance to 0. We're about to do that one thing where we do weird. So hang on hold on to your butts. Okay, really? Photoshop's just being funky. Okay, going through here, selected all the purple, and then do that. And this, we want this, but much lighter. Like that. There we go. Okay. Now that we've done that, I just go through here. Why am I selecting the wrong tool every time? Go through here and do this. Right? And come through here. There we go. You know, Jared, it's funny. Matt Coop was just talking about that just a second ago. How he keeps trying to zoom. He keeps trying to zoom. Not working. That's funny. Okay. Now, we'll make sure this transition's nice and clean. Like that. And I'll show you what this piece looks like. I'm just cleaning up the transition. There we go. Okay. Now we got purple hair. Purple hair. So, I'm also going to put a highlight in if you think this looks okay. Oh, it's raining outside. That's kind of cool. Go through and hit the other side of this. Highlights like this. Our hair's really shiny. And we're going to get perfect purple manga hair. Yeah, now we get to do purple rain because it is actually raining. It's actually legitimately raining. So there we go, purple rain. Here we go. Put it along there. Along here too. There we go. There we go. Legitimately purple hair. She's got purple hair. Purple hair. No, that doesn't get old. Like, this is why I jumped off of Guy's stream. It's because he kept singing. I'll put this right through here. There we go. It's pretty chilly outside, too. It's great. I love this weather. There we go. Remember I had said yesterday you don't make the eyes actually don't make the eyes actually white. You make them a blue. So, and the reason is that whenever you come in here, you can put in white as like this, and it actually makes the eyes look like they're supposed to look. I mean, they've got a little bit of shine to them. I'm going to darken this out and redo it. Because really, honestly, the ones that I added before have got all these lines on it, and they don't need to have that line. So, we'll put in a big light there. A big light here. There we go. And that's how that works. Okay. Now that we've done the hair, and I like the hair, and the hair looks good, and I think even, red veins, that's one of those things. It does add for realism, but in manga style, if you add red veins, it looks like she hasn't been sleeping. Which we just established she probably hasn't been. But it's still kind of a thing that's like, it looks kind of, I don't know, weird. Okay. Set the hair in. The hair is now part of this because we're happy with the hair. So now I need to go through and fix her jumpsuit. So we're going to do that next. I'm going to go through here. I'm going to fix this jumpsuit. I go through like this. And all I'm going to do is I took a codec, or took color from her hair here. And I'm just going to go through and I'm just going to add that to the back here. And at some point I'll add shine back in, but I want the shine on top of this. So I'm going to do this way. And then we're going to come through and we're just going to keep going along here like this. Because I can see artifacts of the green that I put in here before. And so I'm going to have to get rid of those artifacts at some point. But it's easier to just redo this way. Yes. Because this also indicates that this isn't a real shiny jumpsuit, which, in some areas shouldn't be shiny. I mean, I get the impression that some of it's shiny and that's okay, but like the black is like a black leather or a pleather of some sort, and that makes some sense that it's going to be shiny. But the purple I sort of envision as like a spandex or something superhero-y. So I envision that it's not shining as much. So this isn't reflecting as much light. This pleather or spandex and the spandex pleathery stuff. So I'll come through here and clean this up. When I originally did the green in here, I thought that it'd be a good tag in, so I could just tag the color and redo it, and clearly Photoshop had different ideas, and so here we are having to clean all of this up, which is okay. Not a problem. We can do that. Just takes a little longer. I actually kind of like to have things that take a little longer on my drawings because they give me a minute or two to kind of reflect while giving me still something to do. So I'm able to look at the drawing and say, okay, maybe I don't like that purple or whatever. I do like the purple. The purple's perfect, but it still kind of gives me a moment. Just look over the artwork and get a feel of what's going on. So that always works for me. Move around here. Now, Jared, when you had done the red line on this, I noticed that you rebuilt her chest. Was that just simply because you had rebuilt the entire top half of her body, or was that you wanted me to rebuild her chest? That's kind of an important question. Because the red line on this, the red line instructions that I've got here, the color scheme on her belt probably should be, it should be the same color as this, I think, is what I think it should be. Now that you mention that, I'm looking at it going, well, I feel like what we should do is this amber, because her colors are amber and purple. And so maybe her belt should be amber. Let's give that a try and see what happens. Anything could happen, right? Pick up that amber. And we'll go through here and do this. Let's see what we get. Right, because if these are amber in here, it actually might look good. And since amber is close enough to a brown, you could presume that maybe it is the same kind of thing, right? We got this, we got that. Let's go over here. This is where all of you guys were pinching to move the monitor over. You're like, guy, move the monitor. You're driving us crazy. And I'm like, okay, I'll move the monitor. Kind of do this amber out here, though. That would be good, right? Let's take a look. Yeah, see, I think that'll work. I think that if I were to look at it that way, I think amber will work on that. So we'll go on ahead and clean that up, make sure that's nice and clear. And this is another one of those where you want to use the flat brush on this to give it, this kind of painterly look, right? Give it a little bit more width on that brush. Come back through like this. And then that'll be more like this, more like that. This gives it more like it's got a little bit more of a thing going for it here. And the belt can have a shadow like this. There we go. I'm going to add some texture to this right here. That's fair. That's a fair argument. I'll go with that. So when I'm done painting this in, I'll make it a little darker to drop it down. And we'll do that. We'll come along here and kind of do this guy because he's on this side. Side over here. So it's this. So we'll bring this down a couple of shades, yada, yada, yada. There we go. Here we go with the Rob Liefeld joke about pouches. I'm making Liefeld jokes about pouches again. And everybody's like, stop making Liefeld jokes about pouches. And I'm like, no, it'll never happen. I'm always going to make Liefeld jokes. It's just the way it goes. I think Liefeld makes Liefeld jokes. You know what I mean? I mean, honestly, if I was Rob Liefeld, I'd be making Liefeld jokes too. It's the nature of things. Okay. I'm going to drop the levels down. That's not the levels down. I'm going to drop the levels down like that and see where we look. Yeah, well, but I'm not worried really that much about insulting you there, David. I'm just saying. So, and besides, let's be realistic here. I'm doing pouches. How can you not make a Liefeld reference? Right? I mean, it's the way of the things. It's the way we do things. I'll add some highlight in here. It's the nature of things. And some highlights in to make that pop out a little bit more. And I agree, that looks a lot better. It needs more pouches. Well, and this isn't a Liefeld picture because I have a hand, and both feet visible in here. That's how you know it's not a Liefeld picture. Okay, Liefeld jokes. Liefeld jokes are good. Now I'm feeling kind of like her belt buckle should be like a light yellow, like a very, so take this same field but go the other direction. They kind of have like, it's shiny in some way or another, like so. Right? The thing about shiny is that you can, and this is the belt buckle clasp right here, we can make it like this, and that just gives it the appearance that it's actually very shiny, right? There we go, like that, right through there, and give it a little bit of a bump right there, and then zoomed out, it looks all shiny. That's true. She doesn't have overly large shoulder pads. Shoulder pads. Okay. There we go. So we move in a little bit more. Now, they had a couple of requests for specific logos. And I'm not 100% sure I understand. Are you still with me, Jared? Because the instructions that I got were to add a fist to her forehead. I'm not 100% sure about that. Her personal symbol is a clenched fist, as seen on her forehead. So I'm trying to decide, did you really want me to put the clenched fist on her forehead, or did you want me to just reference the picture where the clenched fist is and add that to her uniform? Alex is with me too. Good. Alex, you can answer that question as well while I'm fixing the belt piece here. The instructions said, yes, I get that it's the fist from the leader card. The question is, do you actually want that on her forehead? Or do you want me to put that on her uniform somewhere? Like tattooed on her forehead? Okay. Try this again, because I think we're missing a critical thing. This picture may make sense to you guys, but does not make much sense to me, because I don't see what's... Oh, this is a mask. So you want the fist coming out of her forehead? Like, does she have a fist in her... Tattoos are hot. Okay, so put it on her uniform. I can do that. Because we can put that, moving right here, we can put that like right here. Or, you know, like right on her chest. Because I'm going to put that hero patch back in over here. Out of her forehead would be cool. And she punch people. Punch, punch, punch. I punch you. Headbutts are really sucky whenever you're dealing with this character. Why are headbutts sucky? Headbutts are sucky because you're getting punched by her forehead. Okay, I'm just going to clean up some of this real quick. I get that the fist is her icon, but maybe not tattooed on her forehead, though. So, I mean, I'm cool with her being a brawler and all, but I think that we may find that tattooing that on her forehead might not go over as well. It's like tattooed poor impulse control on your forehead. There we go. Finishing up this. Just getting a little touch in there. And I. Control Shift E. Not I. All right. Let's go ahead and dress up her uniform a little while we're at it. So what we're going to do is I'm going to redline in because I want to get an idea of what I'm doing first before I do this. So redlining in, that's not a red line, guy. You would know. Red lines look red like this. I'm going to redline in. So she's going to have a fist icon here, right? And that's just to indicate, it's like a patch. Right. Oh, yeah. Belt buckle. Belt buckle. Belt buckle. That's better. So, like right here. Right? Like that. Belt buckle. I like belt buckle a whole lot better. Because then I can put the hero patch over here. Which will be right here. Right? I actually have the red line. It's right here. Right? I've got the red line. Oh, you're saying PNG so it would overlay? Oh, I could just bring it in and overlay it if I really wanted to. But I'm referencing that. The problem is the fist wasn't on her forehead and it wasn't here. And so I couldn't tell where you wanted the fist. But I can do the hero logo exactly like you're doing it, which is exactly what I'm headed for right now. I'll do that hero logo in. Aw, man. Did you have to make this so big? So we'll put the hero logo in, right? There we go. The hero logo goes in like that. And you made this a hexagon. That's okay. I can do that too. Look at me doing that. And then we'll put the flag there. There we go. So thin that down, and that here, like this, and then over like that. It's from underneath. Here we go. Now that I've done that, I'm doing good. We'll put the red line in like this. And then we're going to, so we're going to go through like this, kind of going like this. Do that, do that, do that, and do that. And all I'm doing over here is, I assume her belt buckle is slightly bowed. I mean, because it's rounded. If it's anything like her belt buckle when she was not rock salt, but rather was indeed. There we go. Like that, like that. There we go. There we go. 1, 2, 3. Knuckles. Knuckles, man. Knuckles. There we go. So, given a little bit more room for this like that. There we go. That's the one. So, I will give her that in a minute. And I'll go up here and do this. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is follow our red line. This is I kind of feel like this is somewhat surgery-like, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to go in here and do that. I'm going to come over here and do this. Okay, so bringing this up, what I did, all I'm doing here is I'm making a separate layer, but I've got a white layer underneath it just so I can see what I'm doing, because I'm doing black on black. Black on black. Me, 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 me. More singing, right? So I want to make sure I've got this exactly right. And I can't see it very well if it's sitting on the same, if it's a black pin on black layers, right? So I'm going to do that. Do that. Can't see if I've made a mistake or not. So there we go. So we'll do this, and then this, and then this, like this, and then this, and that. There we go. So the patch is sort of 3D, I would think. It feels like it's a very 3D-esque thing. So I'm going to make sure it's kind of standing out here a little. Right? Kind of going up like this, going up like that. Then go like this. There we go. Now, if I take the red line away, that should give us a pretty good idea of what's going on that patch. Looks like the hero patch. I didn't angle it in as much as you did, Jared. However, her arm is twisted more, I think, than you've got it. So there's that. Okay, next thing's next. Let's go ahead and put in the fist icon down here. In this instance, I actually kind of just like going with the red, so I'm just going to do red again. but this time just make it serious. All right, we'll do that, and then bring this size down, go like this, really? I'm like pathetic at this. There we go, this, and here, like that. There we go. Now when you take the red line out, all we've got is just this red fist. Right? All right. Now, take that away, and what we've got is the red fist on, directly on her belt here, like this. And it will draw your attention right to it. Okay, like this, like this, like this, and around. There we go. And I'll just clean up the edges like this, like that. There we go. I don't know. Somebody's out there with a helicopter. Not 100% sure I'm happy with that. That I might want to draw down. So I'm going to draw it down. It's too shiny. It's too bright. Looks like some kind of weird face. So I'm going to draw it down. Because right now it's pure red. It's so red I can't even do levels on it. Yeah, I think that it should be as well. I'm going to go for purple, I think, on this too, because I think that you're right. It doesn't. There we go. There we go. Much better. It could be amber, but I think purple fits. I think purple fits. Let's get this patch in over here while you're discussing whether purple fits or not. We'll go for this. I can use this level for white underneath. It will be good. So I'm just going to go on ahead and I'm going to put in an undercolor right here so that it's no longer, it's not, it won't be part of her uniform. I'll make this real quick here. Like this. There we go. There we go. So the hero patch is probably some kind of uniform color, right? It's not really going to be the color of the rest of her uniform. So it's not going to be an amber or anything like that. It might actually be blue, right? Your blue hero patch is blue, right? I would have figured that that's the case. So we'll go through here and just put in this in some kind of blue. You're like, why are you recoloring it 16 times? Because I have issues. And my issues have volumes. And the volumes have lots of time. I don't know what's going on here. It's just a thing. Don't mind me. Now, if I do this, so we'll do some highlight on here. And we actually probably should be in my flat brush for this. We'll take that flat brush down like this. And we'll kind of, there we go. Because we want this to highlight out like so. So you can see it. Well, it'll be dark blue, but otherwise you won't be able to see it at all. And I'm not, I mean, is that what we want to do, is not be able to see it? I don't know. Could be raised. And I'm going over because I can at this point in time, so I'm going off because I can go back and cut this through on this back side. Here, we'll do that. I'll do that. Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking about how we do subdued, below a dude. You didn't do this, and then go to like that, and that'll kill that. Now let's make sure we didn't hurt the purple. We didn't hurt the purple. Good. I'm like, did we screw up the purple that I just worked so hard on? Did we? Because that would be bad. We didn't. But it's over here. Let's go ahead and get rid of that red line. There we go. So if we take this away, it's still there, and it doesn't look totally like it's missing, and it's still on her shoulder just fine. So that works. Alrighty. I'm getting closer. This belt. No, not watercolor. What are you doing? Are you awake here? Okay. The belt here. Really? Okay, here's what we're going to do. I think we're pretty happy with all of these things, so I'm going to go ahead and flatten out the picture. Why do I keep doing that? Okay, now I'm going to just put a shine in right here. All right, because her belt buckle is lit up. Not lit up, but reflective. And I've got the shine going on in the right here and right here. Like that. Maybe I'll do something like this. Little snaps. These guys have shine too. All right. I think we've done. It looks really good with the blue. I'm just thinking about a mandate that I'll hear us go blue crest with water. That's probably true. If you really want me to subdue it down and make it purple, I could. I mean, do you think I should make it purple and then that way it'd be in whatever is her alternate color? What you think? What you think? You tell me while I'm fixing this part of her suit up here. Because I gotta fix that. Right? Before it drives me absolutely bonkers. Coming up here, around here, like that. We'll fix all of this like here through here. And then we'll come around here like this, and then there we go. So got about 15 minutes left in this broadcast. I'm hoping to kind of get to the point here where I'm pretty happy with this piece, and I don't need to have writing herd going on here. Yeah, it needs to stay blue. Yeah, it does. No, that was not the color I wanted. That's the color I wanted. Right here. So I'll come along here like this. And go like this. And there we go, like this. Yes, here's some wrinkly stuff going on here. Now, I'm good with this too. I'm going to hit save. The question I really got is, now that we've got her here, you had asked to bulk her out. And blue is good. Let's leave it. Blue is good. And I've got some bulking out you've put here. I can increase, but this is a tricep. I'm trying to figure out whether you want me to really push her tricep. I mean, I could see the bicep coming up, but I'm trying to think of how we're leveraging this body. And I feel like her body is being leveraged at this point in time by her bicep, not her tricep. So I don't know if I'd get a bulk on the tricep. What do you think? I mean, looking at the leverage of her body and where her body is going, I feel like I can see the bicep there. That actually isn't going to bother me at all. Let's push that bicep, though, while we're waiting. Push this bicep like that. Right, we'll push it. Push it out there. Give her more bulk there. And kind of come around here. This is going to be... Biceps turn out flat when they're really strong. So we're going to do that. Then run that shine along this top here. Right, just like that. Just like this. There we go. And we'll go back to black. Come back around like this. She's pressing this suit there. Really pressing it. And just a little bit like that, which indicates that muscle group. Whoa, that was too much. Indicates this muscle group moving. Like this. People wonder why we do so many anatomy classes. There we go. Okay, we got a problem. We just screwed up our anatomy. Not ecstatic about that. Okay, so here's the thing. This guy is on the top, so we're not going to actually see, because this is on this side of her arm, on the back side. So what we want is that. Yeah, but she's pushing up, and I agree, but let's look at this. Let's redline it. I say this all the time. The line of her body is like this, pressing down there. The pressure's here, and that means the muscle groups that are moving is this muscle group and this muscle. Well, no, it's going to be opposites. So it's this muscle group. So it's that muscle group and this muscle group pulling across the... So I could see this muscle group pushing. But at this point in time, she's made the flip over like this to here. And now she's pushing to go there. Right? So she's heading out that way. She came over like this, down, onto the stack of books. And now she's pushing off. So I feel like this is a bicep function, not a tricep function. There's two other artists on here. I mean, like 2 other hardcore artists on here. What you think, Jared? What you think, David? 2 of you guys that were classically trained on this. Let's look at our biology. What are we talking about here? Our anatomy. Where are we? What you guys think? I think, for one, I've made her bicep too low, if nothing else, because I think this is a better bicep. Let's look at her anatomy through here. We're going to have her deltoid here, like this, and her bicep, right? And they're both going to be pushed. She's pushing them. So this is going to go up, and this is going to go up. Yeah, you're funny, David. You're funny. This is why I don't ask you questions. This is why we don't take you anywhere. This is why we can't take you places. That's not the area we want. Ooh, did I just draw on her directly? I did. Yay, good job, guy. Let's not do that.
Make sure you get breakfast before hitting triggers.
There we go. You're on the wrong layer. I've received 100 messages today with Restream Chat. Aren't I amazing? Okay, we need to give her more deltoid. That's a given. So we look at, here's the collarbone, right? So let's follow the collarbone out. We've got her shoulder here, her shoulder joint. Here's the rib cage. So we know we're going to bunch up the deltoid. We're going to bunch up the bicep. But the tricep is extended through here. It's extended out. Now, it could be holding up. I mean, coming across from the back of her, from her back, but it's twisted at this point in time because it'd be coming along like this to go into the trapezius in the back. So it's twisted up through here, and that's part of the problem, is it's totally extended for this. Arnold style. Jacked up. You guys are funny. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to boost up her deltoid. I'm going to boost up the bicep. So it's funny because I hear people always talk about how artists don't know their anatomy or don't need to know anatomy, I guess. And I'm like, we really need to know our anatomy. For things like this, why in the world do we need to even think about this stuff until now? And now we need to think about this stuff. It's like, okay, here we go. So I'm going to boost up her bicep and tricep. So there we go. That's what we're after here, is this. That'll give her much more strength pushing around on this push as she goes over. And there we go. Like that, like that, like that. All right? This is what we need. There we go. Well, this is why we redline. And I redline all of my stupid drawings because I'm always screwed up on my anatomy. I'm like, gee, that didn't work. Wonder why that didn't work. Let's redline it and make it look a little bit better. It's always work, work, work. It's not just naked women, you know? There we go. That's much more arm. There we go. So she's got some muscle there. But I also want to give her more definition over on this side too, because she doesn't have a lot of definition over here. We were working on ScarJo before here on this, so I'm just going to give her more definition like that on this side. And then I'll come back around with the highlight like this. And that'll give her There's my cat in the other room, being a cat. There we go, like that. There we go. More muscle there. Good. Okay. We are at the top of the hour on the second hour. I'm going to keep doing 2-hour runs if people want to be with me on this, because I'm pretty happy with the 2-hour run thing. It gives me 2 hours to do work on here. I'm probably going to go in ahead and do a little bit more work after I kill the feed. But I want to make sure that we are, I mean, all I'm going to do is change the titles of the books, but I'm also going to take a look at the painting and see where the painting lies in relation to its, these guys right here. Right. Because right now, all of the graphics around the outside of the card, end up kind of overlaying too much on. Yeah, I even though I know she's strong, Jared, I feel like she's also svelte. You can be really svelte and super strong at the same time. So I'm going for kind of, I love Cara Dune from Mandalorian. She's cool, but yeah, she's also not, what is it, mesomorphic? The very thin type. She's not a thin body. She's a bulkier body. So I'm going to go on ahead and bring my feedback here. So, okay, well, there we go, guys. That's where we are on this. We've kind of gone along here and done I don't think she's stout. So I'm going to do 2 hours a day from now on because it gets me a lot of work done and I really like it. And I really, really, really like having interaction. In this case, I get interaction with Jared and Brent. Jared and Alex. Jared, did we change her card type? Because I thought her card type was svelte, small. So, I mean, I don't have any problem with that. Different body types are cool, but I'm just going back to what her card instructions told me, but that may have changed. Let's see what the brief says. Checking the brief. Mesomorphic. So she's mesomorphic. That's what it says on the brief. I'm going for that. Right. Which makes her just average sized. So as a mesomorph, she'd be middle sized. She's not thin, but she's not, endomorphs. So endomorph would be what I would construe as Cara Dune, or for that matter, Bobby from the Expanse. Bobby, I envision as an endomorph, big, like you don't want to mess with her, sort of thing. It's like, don't mess with Bobby. Yeah, she's cute. So, for me, this is pretty mesomorphic because I'm not. I mean, anime style is really slender and thin. So, anyway, there you go. Okay, guys, join me tomorrow at 10 a.m. and I'll run from 10 to 12 as well, and that'll work. So, coolio. And it's good to have you guys here, Alex and Jared. I appreciate having you guys aboard. So thank you very much. And I appreciate it. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.